Talk. I'm your host, Town Biz. Your only host, because more than likely I'm not going to have a co host whatsoever. All right, so in this particular episode, I'm going to talk about a lot of different things. Of course, I'm going to get to the latest saga of to fight or not to fight. Basically, the ongoing tiresome saga between, will the big fight between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford ever happen? And I'm just going to basically give my opinion on the latest comments from Errol Spence. I'll get to that later, but let me talk about some other stuff. Okay, so shout out to Bill Haney. I talked to Bill Haney a couple of days ago. I talked to Bill. He texted me, and then I briefly had a conversation with him. Team Haney is weighing their options. I think Bill is supposed to be back out here, maybe sometime this week. Hopefully I can catch Bill. So, we'll see what happens. As long as our schedules don't conflict, as long as I don't have to go to work when Bill summons me, because that's pretty much what he does. when, you know what I'm saying? He just popped out of nowhere, hits me up though, and be like, "Town business, I'm back in town." So that's pretty much what goes on with Bill. He just, he summons me. But shout out to Bill. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they're wearing the options. They looking at Lomachenko. They looking at Tank. Bill is with Top Rank. Team Haney is with Top Rank. We all know the easiest fight to make would be the Lomachenko fight. They could do a rematch with Kambosos, but like I said before, I wouldn't set foot in Australia. And I told Bill that personally. Y'all the A side. Y'all gotta act like it, man. For real. But I would take the Lomachenko fight. You know what I'm saying? Lomachenko, you just gotta take advantage of these situations. Lomachenko might not be in boxing shape. And at the end of the day, Lomachenko a lot on this plate. Obvious things that's on this plate. But at the end of the day, he say he's ready to get back in the ring. So, at the end of the day, if he want to go directly into a fight with Devin Haney, then so be it. It's not like he's nursing any injuries or anything like that. So if that's the best option out there for, Team Haney, then take the Lomachenko fight. Because like I said, that's the easiest fight to make. And I feel at this time, based on the fact that Devin Haney is undisputed, his popularity has risen, why not? You could do this fight maybe, around November, maybe end of October, because a fight of this magnitude, you want, whether it be on regular ESPN, you still want to have proper promotion going into this fight. Even if it's not a pay-per-view fight, you want to have certain sponsorships, you want to have the viewership, you want to have, you know what I'm saying, you want to have enough media going into this fight so it can be big. And I think Kambosos Jr., they beat him with ease, man. They T-Grizzlied him, man. They beat him with no effort. I mean, for real, Devin Haney beat Kambosos with no effort. He got the T-Grizzly treatment. Tank, real intriguing fight. Very interesting fight. Because I said the thing is with Tank, he do got a puncher chance in every fight due to the fact he has that power. And the thing is, Devin Haney is a superior boxer. So it would make for a good fight. And then also at the end of the day, look at Tank's, you have to admit, Tank in a lot of his fights, the first half of the fight, he struggles. And I think if Devin Haney fought a very smart fight and fight with discipline, you know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in trying to slug it out, and don't try to look testosterone and you want to prove to everybody you can take a shot. You know what I'm saying? And you end up getting caught and getting, I think Devin has a very good chance of beating Tank Davis. And Bill said they want to fight. Now the question is, we all know what the problem is, the politics. We all know, will a certain somebody make that fight? At the end of the day, man, this stuff is grown tired. I've been tired of this for the last 2 years, and I've been the only one really called out. Like I said, I'm holding these guys accountable because, like I said before, I'm not finna sit up here and not call out the PBC for not making certain fights when they didn't blatantly went out of their way not to give the fans certain fights. That's just, it is what it is. Everybody does this stuff. Everybody has done this stuff. Top Rank was doing this stuff where they was having a whole bunch of in-house fights. Didn't really want to make outside fights, which to me, we shouldn't even be using that terminology, outside fights, because this stuff started like in the, like around 2012, where you had certain promotional companies not wanting to do business with certain promotional companies. This wasn't going on in the 80s, in the 90s, in the early 2000s. Fights got made. It didn't matter who these dudes was promoted by. For real. So, at the end of the day, I don't be trying to hear that stuff, but you're going to always have the fanagers and the fanboys of promoters and promotional companies try to protect their own. And really, they ain't their own, because most of these promoters and promotional companies and fighters, managers, trainers don't really give a damn about you, to be honest with you. And I'm just keeping it a buck. But yeah, like I said, I like that fight for Team Haney. I like the Lomachenko fight. Lomachenko is getting older. You know what I'm saying? He's getting older. Lomachenko is a guy that had over 400, according to him, and according to, according to, what they saying in his Wikipedia and all that stuff, he had over 400 amateur fights. Whether it's an amateur fight or not, that's a lot of fights, man. That's a lot of fights. That's a lot of rounds. And Lomachenko is what, 32, 33. So I mean, I'm just saying, I would try to make that fight. That's just real talk. I think Devin Haney has a type of style that could give Lomachenko fits. He style that would cause a lot of problems for Lomachenko. Real talk. Devin Haney really showed his improvement and his overall skills at Kambosos fight, where he looked like Floyd the way he dominated that fight. I had him winning every round. But yeah, let's see can we get the Lomachenko fight. I would love to have that fight. I would love to cover that fight, because I know we can get that fight in the States. And me and Bill had a good chuckle. I told Bill, if you fight Kambosos again, I won't be there, just like I wasn't there the first time. If you had trouble getting into Australia, I know they're not gonna let me in there. Oh, I'm just keeping it 100. Just gotta tell you the truth. Not that I'm proud of some of the stuff I did a long time ago. I just know they ain't gonna let me in Australia, so I'm just keeping it a buck, real talk. Now, let's get to some other good stuff. Now, I gotta say this about Mark Masayu. To me, based off what happened to him, I'm not gonna say I enjoyed it, but it's kind of funny. You gotta look at it as karma, because at the end of the day, remember when they asked him would he give Gary Russell Jr. a rematch, even though he beat a one-armed Gary Russell Jr. Remember, he said, I have to think about it. He said, I can fight whoever I want now. And yeah, you did get to fight whoever you want, and you was one and done. You was a one-hit wonder. You was the Kaya of boxing. My neck, my back. You know what I'm saying? He was a one-hit wonder. Now you're done. No belt, And the funny thing is, the dude that beat you, he ain't giving you a rematch. He basically already said it's going to be either Brandon Figueroa or Leo Santa Cruz. So when you think about it, that's kind of karma. You know, that's just real talk. That's karma. So I'm just enjoying that. That's karma, man, when you do people dirty. So now you one and done, so now you have to figure out your next move. So back to the drawing board you go. Now, I did a video talking about Tyson Fury, and I believe Tyson Fury when he said that Wilder fight, those 3 Wilder fights took a lot out of him. Like I said, he was badly hurt in all 3 of those fights. The first, look, I stand by what I said. The first fight with Wilder should have got a knockout victory of Tyson Fury. But you know, Jack Reese, for some reason, he wanted to save Tyson Fury. And I saw him in other fights. As soon as you saw a dude hit the floor the way Tyson Fury did, you would just see Jack Reese just wave off the fight. That was Kenny Bayless. He probably would have just waved off the fight. Then a lot of people said that Tyson Fury really didn't beat the 10 count in the first fight, because if you look at somebody else counting, a lot of people believe that Jack Reese gave Tyson Fury a lone count. But that's neither here or there. You know, he went on to fight Deontay Wilder 2 more times, and he went on to win the next 2 fights. But at the same time, he took a lot of punishment from Deontay Wilder. The same way he issued out punishment, Deontay Wilder issued out punishment to him. And at the end of the day, wife has been begging him to retire. So, you know, his wife has been begging him to retire. You thinking to yourself, Tyson Fury may have one of them fights where he do run into a buzzsaw. I think at the end of the day, I think he would rather fight Anthony Joshua than Usyk, because Usyk is so technical. Like I said, of course, Tyson Fury would be the favorite just because of his height and size. But I think Usyk would make a bad fight for Tyson Fury. Like I said, it could end up being just like the Vladimir Klitschko fight, which that was one of the worst heavyweight fights I ever seen. And it's funny, Klitschko to me has been in 2 of the worst fights that I ever seen in my life. The Alexander Povetkin fight, that was up there with the Tyson Fury. All he did was wrestle and throw Povetkin on the ground. It was a wrestling match. And as for those who think I really don't be watching this boxing stuff, that I do this part-time. Oh, I saw that fight. That Povetkin fight was horrible. To be honest with you, Klitschko should have got disqualified for all the times he threw Povetkin on the ground, or threw him on the mat. Not on the ground, on the mat, on the canvas. So it was a horrible fight. And I think a Usyk fight would basically have the same results. It just wouldn't be a fan-friendly fight. You know, I just think it wouldn't be a fan-friendly fight where Joshua, that would be a fan-friendly fight, because Joshua, we all know Joshua's going to go in there and he's going to slug. He's going to try to slug it out, and he is going to fight. Whether Anthony Joshua gets outboxed or eventually Cotton gets stopped, it's going to be a good match. So that's why I think Tyson Fury would rather fight Joshua, because he feels like Joshua would make a better fight, and plus he feels like he probably could stop Joshua. So, you know, that's why he probably would fight Joshua. And keep in mind, it's funny, they didn't gave him a year to make up his mind. So he has a whole year to decide what he wants to do. He has a whole year to decide what he wants to do before they even remotely talk about stripping him. But I was told from Sugar Hill when I saw him in Las Vegas, when I asked him about Tyson Fury, he told me that Tyson Fury is retired. But I gotta see. I'ma say he's partially retired, because he hasn't technically went on his social media account and said, hey, I retired from boxing. And like I said, I keep telling you, the type of money he gonna get to fight Anthony Joshua, he may look at his wife and say, I gotta do it one more time. Tyson Fury does have, 6 children? So, he got to put them through college or whatever. Whatever, you know what I'm saying, he have in store for them when they get, of age, 18, and you know what I'm saying, when they grow up. He has 6 children. So, that's just real talk. So like I said before, $50 to $100 million can make you say, you know what, babe, I got to do it one last time. So we'll see. We'll see. Then not to mention the other problems that Tyson Fury have outside of boxing, which is highly documented. Tyson Fury have an issue with that Booger Sugar. You know what I'm saying? The other white girl. You know what I'm saying? That nose candy. You know what I'm saying? That snow. That powder. Or as Messi Marv would say, he liked to play with his nose. So there you have it. But just keeping it a buck. Now, all right, so let me be the dude that just let me be the dude that just keep it all the way 100. Like I keep saying, I keep trying to tell people. Shout out to Mr. Stacks. Let me be the logical one to just say, I'm going to just keep it a buck, man. At the end of the day, man, I'm going to talk about what y'all all been waiting for. I wanted y'all to see, as far as my avatar for this video, my picture, my screenshot for this video. Because, keep in mind, these boxers are accusing us of clout chasing and using their name to get views and make money and eat off of them. God, I swear to God, I'm gonna make a video talking about that, eating off you. I'm finna make these boxers look stupid saying that kind of stuff, because I'm the type of dude that respond to stuff like that. So I'm gonna definitely respond to these fighters accusing us of making videos and clickbaiting, and as you can see, Errol Spence is not titled in this video, or Terrence Crawford, even though Terrence Crawford ain't said nothing, and I like that. But Errol Spence once again was asked about the Terrence Crawford fight. Once again, now you got a different type of answer. Now it went from, it's gonna happen at the end of the summer to September. Now it's gonna happen later on this year. It would just be best that if Errol Spence just say, you know what, I ain't talking about this no more. I'd rather Errol Spence say, I ain't talking about this no more. When everything is set in stone and official, then that's when we'll speak on it. Because the more he says, well, it's gonna happen, I mean, it just comes across like he's stalling. We all know that. And by the way, what happened to that contract? See, what happened to that contract stuff? I didn't hear Errol Spence say, oh, it's a contract. Terrence Crawford needs to sign the contract. And then you get these dudes guesstimating what's supposed to be going on. Until I hear about an official fight date, a location, and all that stuff, I'm just going to say, well, we just wondering. It'd just be best if he just say, I ain't talking about it no more. Like I said before, tell me where I haven't like kept it 100 with y'all. And once again, you gonna have his brigade and his fanboys get mad because once again, Town Biz is factual. Once again, Town Biz has came with the truth. No pun intended. So now we know that it ain't gonna be no fight in September because we headed towards the Actually, we almost in the middle of July. At the end of the week, we'll be in the middle of July. So as you guys know, there ain't gonna be no September fight. More than likely, it's looking like it's not even gonna be an October fight. So, like I said before, tell me where was I lying? And I'm not trying to make Errol Spence look bad. That'll be the best thing for everybody's sake. Just say, you know what? I'm not talking about this no more. When it happens, when it's official, it's official. I'm not doing no more guesstimating. Because at the end of the day, you keep hearing, well, unless there's, basically a multi-fight deal with Terrence Crawford, it looked like it ain't gonna happen anyway. Now, I'm gonna just speak on something that a lot of people is also scared to speak upon. The real clickbaiters. I'm gonna be honest with you, it was funny. Back in the day, they didn't seem like they was too interested in signing Terrence Crawford to a multi-fight deal. Or at least to a deal. But based on what Canelo did to them, where he basically took one of they belts and basically ran back to the zone, now you got to understand. This is the effects of Canelo taking their last belt, becoming undisputed, and running back to zone. You think they finna let Terrence Crawford do that? Let's be factual. See, this is what the clickbaiters and what the nut huggers ain't gonna tell you. This is what they ain't gonna talk about. This is real talk. All the smart boxing fans, listen to this video. All the groupies, bounce. I almost can guarantee you, unless Terrence Crawford signs a multi-fight deal, or at least a 2 to 3 fight deal, they probably ain't gonna be no fight. I'm keeping it 100. You think they gonna let Terrence Crawford, real talk, you think they gonna let Terrence Crawford fight Errol Spence, be disputed, and then possibly run to the zone or match room, or even worse, go back to Top Rank with all the belts? You really think they gonna do that? That's why Floyd is talking the way he talking. See, I'm saying what people is afraid to say. Another reason why is hesitation to make that fight. I can almost guarantee, unless Terrence Crawford signed a 2-fight deal, or maybe even 3, I'm almost certain I'm telling you, they not, and people can talk all this, oh, Errol Spence is gonna mollywop Terrence Crawford. You don't know that. You don't know that. Like I say, all the real boxing fans, take note. Like I said, I'm not hating on Errol Spence. I'm just telling the truth. That'll be a nightmare if Terrence Crawford beats Errol Spence and then he goes back to Top Rank. You don't think that's running in the back of Al Heyman's head or Floyd's head? That's why Floyd did that video with Fight Hype saying he would love to work with Terrence Crawford and he want to sign Terrence Crawford. I'm telling you, that would be a worse, when I say, hey, man. Like I said before, the smart people, the intelligent people, the people that are not emotionally invested in this, they understand what I'm saying. Now, I already know they're gonna flag this video again, and I'm gonna win my appeal. Tell me that I'm lying, that ain't running in the back of their minds. Man, If Terrence Crawford win this fight and he go and take those belts back to Top Rank, I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you. See, this is what, like I said, these other boxing outlets don't want to talk about. They don't want to tell the real truth, what's possibly going on, what's running in the back of the PBC's mind. They do not want Terrence Crawford to come in there, beat Errol Spence, and then go back to Top Rank undisputed. Can you imagine if that fight happens and Terrence Crawford wins, then he goes back to Top Rank, and then Devin Haney continues to win? Devin Haney beats Lomachenko. They will have 2 undisputed champions on their roster. And two pound for pound fighters. 2 top 5 pound for pound fighters. Like I said before, see, nobody ain't gonna put this information out because they scared, because they too busy, you know, kissing up. This is what real journalism is about. This is about what real media is about. This is what putting the truth out and talking to the fans. Like I said, they've been acting real funny. So like I said, it's just best that Errol Spence just don't even say when this fight is going to happen, because the more he keeps saying be patient, people start, okay, here we go. And like I said before, his fan base ain't going to keep being able to make excuses. Man, I'm just saying, people don't want to hear this stuff. I'm telling you, that's running in the back of their minds. That'll be their worst nightmare if Terrence Crawford wins the belts and he go back to Top Rank. Now watch somebody make a video, listen to this, and they gonna use what I'm saying and make another clickbait video or push propaganda. They gonna say it's gonna be titled Terrence Crawford's Master Plan. And if he went back to Top Rank, so what? I mean, for real. Like I said, the PBC, they had a chance to sign Shakur Stevenson. They didn't move. They had a chance to sign Terrence Crawford a couple of years ago. They didn't make a move. Now all of a sudden, he is free. Like I said before, y'all, Terrence Crawford's last fight was in November. And I'm going to tell you something else. The more they fight back, keep in mind, Terrence Crawford's birthday is September the 28th. Terrence Crawford's birthday is one day before mine's. The longer they push this fight back, it's looking like they try to age Terrence Crawford out. Terrence Crawford is going to be 35, I think, his next birthday. So it's looking like, I mean, at the end of the day, they looking real bad in this situation. I'm sorry, y'all, if some of y'all don't want to hear the truth. I'm sorry that some of y'all can't handle what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, that's y'all problem, not mine. It's just like I said, at the end of the day, it's just looking like they continuing to further and further push this fight back. Because they think Terrence Crawford is going to age. They think it possibly Terrence Crawford is going to age, and then they also thinking that, hey, he might win this fight and take those belts back to Top Rank. And y'all already know how I feel. I'm not ever going to tell nobody what promotional company he signed with. And like I said, if he go back, he just go back. But then, you know, the fake pro-black people going to come out making their videos talking about Terrence Crawford sold out and all this kind of stuff. Even though the PBC didn't prove on several occasions that they really don't believe in black fighters. That they don't believe that black fighters can sell. They feel like the only way for a black fighter to sell a pay-per-view, they have to stuff it with primarily Hispanic fighters. So they basically have the same mentality that they've been accused of Top Rank and Matchroom of having. So they all think that black fighters can't sell. Boom, drop the mic. I'm sorry that y'all hearing the truth, I'm sorry that I ain't sitting up there like following the manuscript. Like I said, this is what a lot of people is afraid to say, but not me. Well, Mr. Stacks, you real with it. You name one card that the PBC recently didn't have that featured all black fighters, all black fight card. And I don't want to hear none of you non-blacks say, well, why it has to be a all black card? Why it have to be a primarily all Hispanic card? You ain't seen Chris Colbert on none of these pay-per-views. You ain't none like for real. You really trying to blow up Ennis? Put Ennis on some of these pay-per-views where he belonged. Remember, boy said it himself. Black people can help him elevate and become who he is, even though we know that's a damn lie. We know that's a damn lie. So like they all think, like I said, they all thinking. That's why Kenny Porter said that stuff when he said Floyd don't like fighting brothers. That's why Floyd was accused of that. And like I said, y'all all have the proof that these fighters watch our videos. I told you that. But anyway, thanks for listening. Just wanted to prove a point. It's your boy Town Biz, dropping the mic again. I'm out.